הנהגים סד נפש מושכלה.
And can we expect epic songs also on the upcoming album?
Well, we usually have one long epic song. I don't know if we have an epic in Love is a Drug from Hell, because
No, we don't.
the theme of that is the various expressions of love. So, love of a father for his daughter, friendship, crazy, infatuated love, vampire, toxic love, love within a family. So those are more conducive to shorter forms, so 3, 4, 5 minute songs. But we do have, operas and epics in the pipeline, and we'll release
Certainly
them.
some in the pipeline, yeah.
Yeah.
And so speaking about the theme of love, we wanted to talk about the song Phantom Love, the upcoming album. Could you explain, both of you, what the song means, and then maybe just share something about how maybe you made choices in the production of the song?
I can give the background, and I'll pass the baton to David, because he's done such a wonderful arrangement. The theme of the song is something very, very close to me, and it's part of the tragic comedy of life. David talked about comical decay. So when something bad happens, there's always something funny about it as well. There's always comedy and tragedy and vice versa. So the tragic comedy of life is, in my words, the impossibility of making a decision. So you're at a crossroads. For example, you can marry this woman or not marry this woman. And whatever you decide, you've closed the door. So a life is unlived. So there's going to be pain and regret there. So in this particular song, it's about the narrator is thinking back on someone that he loved very, very much, and he should have married, but for whatever reason, the tarot cards, the stars were not aligned, and he took another path. And he's reflecting on that life unlived, and he's thinking, Isabella, would you know me if I was standing at your door? Would you even recognize me, or are you lost forevermore? So it's trying to reconcile that irreconcilable thing. It's the nature of time. Now, apparently, modern physics tells us that all time exists all the time. So time past, time present, and time future all exist. So there are multiple universes. The quantum mechanics tells us. So in one life, the narrator and this girl would have married and had 4 children. Now, I don't know about that. That's theoretical physics, but the reality is that what we experience is just that. It's the impossibility of making a decision. Whatever door you take, there's a path which opens out onto a garden. It's full of roses, but you'll never experience it because you chose the other path. So that's the spirit of it, the heart of it. And David's arrangement just catches that bittersweetness, and hit the pause button there.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, thank you for reminding me of the title of the song that I was having trouble with the string arrangements. The strings on, that was the one. That's the one I've been reworking and rewriting. And, I'm very, very passionate about education. And one of the things I do with the band is, I also let them assist in various parts of production. And so both Giulio Rosatelli and Riccardo Ricci sort of made attempts on the string parts and the string lines, but it wasn't capturing the nature of the song, and so for me, the rhythmic approach to string writing has always been, you think about Eleanor Rigby, the Beatles. What's the name of that song? Is the name of the song Eleanor Rigby? What is I Look at All the Lonely People? I can't remember the actual title.
Eleanor Rigby. It's Eleanor.
Eleanor Rigby is the title, yeah. So anyway, that has. That's for everybody. I think that the the sort of juxtaposition of rhythm and sustained string sounds is really, that it's iconic. It's legendary, iconic. It's part of pop music canon, if you will. And so, for me, Phantom Love, we also struggle a lot, not just with string arrangements, but also with the vocals. Like we tried a lot of different ways. I got involved in some of the harmonies there, because we were just trying to, and we don't use harmony a lot on Pascal's music, but we just felt that was one where it needed it. But as far as the strings went, yeah, like it just, I needed something that really, felt good. I took a few elements from both Julio and Ricardo's attempts, but in the end, I sort of struggled a lot with that one. But now I feel like it's just right now. But with the vocals, for example, Pascal did, I think, 3 or 4 different stylistic approaches. And I told him straight, like, dude, your first one, that's the one. Because he uses falsetto, and he doesn't use falsetto a lot, and for those that don't know, falsetto is when you basically sing above your natural register in a false or fake way. And so he, and again, he doesn't use falsetto very, very often in his work, and he did on this song, and it's Phantom Love on the lyric. Phantom Love, abandoned love. I mean, these are just incredible. Again, just, for me, like I always, sort of find some personal reference within the lyrics of the songs. And I suppose I build arrangements based on my own feelings about what I feel about his lyrics and about, the chords. I mean, that's the other thing. Pascal's a real chord master. He really knows his jazz harmony. And so he also knows his pop harmony, so, and by harmony, I mean chord structure, not what I was referring to before about harmonizing vocals. Those are 2 different kinds of harmony. So, but the structure of songs and the chordal harmony, I should really say, he's a real master, and
I've gotta thank David for his coaching on the vocal, because as he said, we did multiple takes, and I was not sure about the falsetto. But David said, no, it's about a phantom love. It's fragile. It's something that could have been, that still haunts the narrator, but it never came to fruition. So it would have that ache. And it is a phantom. Yeah.
It's the phantom. Like, that's the point, is that falsetto voice is the phantom in Phantom Love. And he's literally doing the falsetto on the word phantom. So for me, it's, from a production standpoint, it's perfect. Like, you can't change it. Now, we of course, I always say we try everything. Literally, as a producer, you have to try everything, because you can't know, if I describe to you the sound of beautiful flutes, oboes, and clarinets, harmonizing with a string quartet, like, you can't imagine that in your head. No one can, unless you're Beethoven or Mozart or whatever. But, I mean, I guess composers have a better understanding of it, but until you hear it, you don't know. And it's the same thing in production. I can describe to you, a painting, and that's how I see production. It's like painting. And you're using the songs, the music are your colors, and the lyrics are your palette, or your canvas, in a way. And then you're just sort of trying to get everything in there. And you can describe a painting to someone, but until they see it in front of them, like, how would you describe Guernica, Picasso's Guernica? How do you explain that masterpiece to someone who's never seen it?
Yeah. The arrangement to Phantom Love is so perfect. I look at the lyrics, and as you were speaking, David, so the last few lines, every crossroad is a life unlived, while the years slip through your hand. Phantom love, random love, stranded love, and abandoned love. Now you're a phantom in the mist, as if we never even kissed. And the arrangement just captures that sense of ache and pain.
Finally.
We've all been there, we've all been there.
Yeah.
It's the impossibility, if you will, of life. You make one decision, and the passageway and the door to the garden that could have been yours, and the roses that said you'll never experience, is closed forever to you, and yet it still lives. It's still this phantom, and David's arrangement captures that. So, yeah, I'm really grateful to the band and to David for this. It was a real gift for me, But it's also funny. That's the thing. It's comical, You've got to be able to laugh. And if I could give that advice to artists, you can't just get into the gloom. You've also got to laugh about it because it's kind of funny. There's a guy, if he did this, and he's still putzing about, worrying about it. What's the matter? Wake up, Actually, I'm working on a song very similar theme, and it's inspired by the Don Quixote story. So Don Quixote is this crazy knight. He's comical, and yet he's beautiful because he's such a dreamer, and he creates these magical, mystical worlds. And one of his creations is Dulcinea, his lady love, this ideal, beautiful woman that he aspires to. And yet she's, like a milkmaid and a tart, and it's funny and beautiful at the same time. So while he's singing to Dulcinea, people are laughing, but they're also crying because his image is so powerful. His desire and his idealism is so powerful. So that's life, right?
It is. That's how it goes.
Like Hakeem says,
guys,
right?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm already late for my class, so I'm gonna have to.
Thank you so much.
Go.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for having me on, and as always, it's a great pleasure, and I look forward to the next one.
Thanks.
Ciao, amigo. See you Friday.
Take care.
Take care. Levi, you and I can stay on, and I think wrap it up.
Yes.
So boy, we sure talked about a lot, didn't we? We probably have multiple episodes here. I think I'll let you do the editing in your own good way. But yeah, I thought that was good. It was great.
Yes, and for the next episode, we can save maybe the other song we wanted to talk about, "Last of the Red Dots," or do we want to talk about it today? Yeah,
I think we'll save it for next time. Yeah. Again, I'll defer to you if you feel we can make this into 2 episodes. That's totally fine. It's kind of a long one.
Yes.
But I'll leave it with you.
All right.
But otherwise, yeah, the clips are looking great, and yes, I mean, my image is that it through the clips is how to build a relationship with an audience or with a person. When I met my wife, I didn't say, "Will you marry me?" because that'd be creepy, right? But you drip, 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 drip. So have coffee, then have lunch, and have dinner, etc. So the same way we're building a relationship with the audience, and it starts with a short clip, a 30-second clip of video, and then through the beauty of what you do, we gradually build the relationship. So drip, 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 and eventually, we have an audience. So.
I noticed that also if I look what other artists do, today with social media, it's so much about showing your personality, and that includes also your face. This is on social media, everyone has a profile picture with their face on it, so it's kind of it's different today for artists than even 20 years ago.
Very much. And
exactly what you talk about, or David talked about, that I have to turn all these conversations into these clips, which are conform to the format of social media, and it's really difficult because I have to cut things out, and some things get lost, unfortunately, but. Yeah, that's why it's great that we had the podcast where we can really go deep and just.
It was an inspired idea, and so we have. To your point, we have. We ask for 30 seconds initially, and it's good. It's engaging. People say, "Oh, okay," and then maybe they'll listen to something that's a minute long, and then maybe they'll go and watch a whole video, or go to Spotify and listen to a song or two, or maybe download an album. That's how you do it. You gradually, it's a staircase. But the most important steps are, getting to know you through these wonderful clips. So it's just great. It's just great. So please continue.
I'm really happy that you like them, and
just
this
great.
podcast was, I think, one of the best things, because there is really no better way to talk and to express who we are as a band.
It's just great.
And also I wanted to say thank you, because it's also become really artistically fulfilling for myself to create these clips, to work on covers.
It's great. I'm really happy. Well, you're a splendid artist yourself. So hopefully, by working with David and I, and Katie, you'll grow and learn it, as I learned from you and the rest of our merry band.
Yes,
so please continue.
Just over the period I worked so far with you, I have continuously also learned, and just that I had the chance to learn this way. I'm really grateful, and
I feel the same. Yeah, your instincts are so good. So full speed ahead. I trust you and Katie explicitly. So, yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, we're doing the right thing. We just, as David and I say, stay the course. Stay the course. Let's see what happens. We're in a great direction.
Yes, we are.
Thanks again. Have a great rest of the day, and looking forward to what you come up with. Now I've got to get ready for a business call. My day job, my engineering job. I got to change gears.
All right. And then you work on the music in the night usually?
I can make my own schedule, thankfully. So I'll do a few hours of music, then I'll do some management, engineering, then I'll do some music. So the interesting thing is that it's all the same, They inform each other. They're not contradictory. Art and commerce and science. That's I'm lucky enough to be able to do both. And they support one another.
That's great. That's great. Cool. Thank you, Pascal. I wish you also a great day, and see you for the next one. And we'll
see you next time.
We'll keep in touch and just update each other. All right?
I appreciate you.
Me too. Bye-bye. Take care.
Yeah.